Hello and welcome to Chapter 175 of DC Alliance Podcast. With me, as always, is Joe. Joe, how you doing this evening?
Not too shabby. A little weird because we're on a Thursday. This is,
I know this is the Marvel
close to Marvel
guys.
Alliance time, and I'm like, I'm not Marvel Alliance. This is weird. But I mean, obviously, graciously, they came out yesterday. This slot was open, so why not, right? And earlier in the week was a little rough for news and for everything. But I'm also kind of glad we waited because we got a couple
Yes,
things that showed up.
we got a trailer
Yeah.
and we got a in the series to talk about.
How
It's
are
a
you
very
feeling?
Flash centric episode. I'm doing great, Joe. I took tomorrow off work. I have
You literally just
well,
started. How'd you take tomorrow off of work?
I have a month of annual leave. I've never had annual leave before. Any other time, my vacation was put on my check in terms of wage. But now I have 20 annual leave days I can take a year, and they reset every April. Plus sick and family days. I'm taking a family day for my son's vaccines he has to get in June 7th, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might take one on the 16th of June for the Flash, just so I can see it twice
I
before
think
we record. That's kind of what I really want to do. So I'm
so.
debating
Yeah,
that because I don't want to use them all up. I don't want to get to like four coming Christmas and that. So yeah, I want to
that's
have
fair.
some in the holster.
I got my ticket secured for a Thursday night showing. I'm gonna see if because I know my kids wanted to go see the movie, but I wanted to see if my girlfriend wants to go see it. I don't know if she does. She hasn't really been into the comic movies as of late. Um,
This seems like
so
one.
I'll
This seems
probably
like
go see it
one.
again.
This seems like one that anybody could pick up. Like she could like not having to know any of the other. This
Oh
feels
no,
like
she's
one.
like
Yeah,
she go see it. Like she has no problem seeing it. It's like she's just burnt out on comic
yeah,
movies in
which
general.
makes sense. Yeah.
Um, plus yeah, so it's one of those things where I'll ask, but as of right now, I've got one viewing on Thursday, possibly one on Friday before we record. So I should,
Nice.
in theory, have two in when we talk about the movie, but I don't know. We'll see.
I have tickets for Thursday, 3 o'clock, which super pumped about that. I'm gonna
Me
work
too.
through my lunch and just leave early from work and go
Nice.
to watch it. I'm debating. I did read that there's potentially it's going to open some Wednesdays in some
I think
places.
it's
So
overseas. Yeah.
okay. I was hoping that it potentially could happen here, but yeah,
Oh, it'd been
that's
great.
not
I would have
so.
saw it like three times before, probably.
Yeah, so I'm gonna at least see it. I'm gonna see it once, and then hopefully the Friday, if I take it off, I can go see it again before we talk about it because I'm really excited for this film. This is everyone's talking about how exciting it is. Everyone like it's blowing up my Twitter. Luckily, I don't know how I haven't been spoiled in the slightest yet for the film, which is a great thing.
Just means your mute game's on point.
Yeah, learn from the best, and I'm same thing with Spider Verse. I don't see anything; it's just complete wall, which is nice. I was afraid I'm debated deleting YouTube because that almost spoiled No Way Home for me. So you got to be on your toes.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
But Joe, before we get into the Flash conversation, because it's not just the trailer, we have like I said, the series finale. The old Yeller was finally brought it back and put down. Uh, we'll talk about that. I'm sorry. I just watched the finale like literally an hour and a half ago. I can't wait to eviscerate it. Um, yeah, before we do that, let's get the network plugs out of the way. We are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance with 8 shows in total. On Mondays is Ranger Alliance, and that rotates bi weekly with Slice of Film. On Tuesdays is DC Alliance. On Wednesdays is the Animation Nation. On Thursdays is Star Wars Alliance. On Fridays is Marvel Alliance. On Saturdays, bi weekly as we walk through the multiverse. And Sundays, monthly is World's Finest True Believers. DC Alliance goes live on the Geekverse YouTube channel Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Star Wars Alliance goes live Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and Marvel Alliance goes live Thursdays at 9:10 p.m. Eastern Time. All three of those shows also have their own podcast feed. Search Marvel Alliance, DC Alliance, and Star Wars Alliance if you just want Marvel content, DC content, or Star Wars content only. But if you want all 8 shows on the GWA Podcast Network, stay subscribed to the GWA on your podcast app of choice. We also have a Patreon, 2 tiers, $1 tier and a $5 tier. The dollar tier is basically a tip jar. You like what we're doing, you want to help us out any way you can. And the $5 tier is where you get your extras. Get your ad-free episodes, early access episodes, and Patreon exclusive episodes. Myself and Joe are going through the DC films through the years. We have scheduled to record tomorrow to knock off the one for this month. I'm super excited to talk about that. I'm going to watch it tonight. So after we finish here, I'm going to attempt it. Hopefully I don't fall asleep watching. As you can tell from myself and Joe's faces, I think we're a little tired with
It's
our
been
8
a long week.
It's been a long week. So, yeah, stick with us as we go through the entirety of the DC films. We also have Chris and Brent, the Marvel Alliance guys, doing their MCU rewatch, not only the films, but the one-shots in the series as well. So stick with him as we cover the entirety of the MCU. We have Clay going through shows for the first time. Katie talking Star Wars comics with her husband, and Joel's Multiverse Minutes, which my other show, the Animation Nation, has crossed over with for you patrons. Beast Wars Season 3 is up on the feed. So look forward to that. That was a great discussion, and stay tuned because there are 2 seasons of Machines to go up.
Our next two are they're
Good discussions. Good discussions.
good discussions.
I wouldn't even say it's less agreeable. It's
I
just
don't know.
more.
I would say like Chris called it great, or it was on point when he talked about it on Marvel Alliance, saying this was your favorite show of all time, Beast Machines.
Yes, it was 100%. Like he nailed that. That was. I was like, yeah, you got that one down, but no, it's rough. It's just. But I knew going in, it. You know what was more fun in season 2, listeners? When you get to season 2 recording, the patrons, Joe realizes how bad the show actually was because like in season 1, he's like,
Look,
I remember the show. It was good. It was fun. And he got into season 2, he's like, God damn
now
it!
you're
I thought it was a
spoiling.
lot better than
Now you're
what.
giving
Sorry,
spoilers.
sorry,
Stop.
sorry. Months worth. So yeah, we thank everyone that's a patron. But if you're not a patron, you take a quick 30 to 60 seconds to rate and review the podcast on your podcast app of choice. It's always greatly appreciated. It helps other people find the shows, and that's always a good thing. So Joe, before we get into the Flash talk, on the game asks, have y'all seen the Indy 5 reviews? Yeah, they're not great. I was skeptical of this film going in all the game. I hope Indy fans like it. I titled it myself, Indiana Jones 5: The Quest for Old Age Security. So, yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fun birthday gift for myself to go see that. Will it be, the Last Crusade? No, but whatever. It's
it's
Indiana
another indie
Jones,
movie. It's
and
another
I'm
indie
there.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah,
So like
even
hardcore fans. Same
I'll
as
say right now,
Chris.
I haven't seen Crystal Skull in forever, and I'm gonna rewatch all of them before Dial
Oh,
Up
of
Destiny.
course.
But because I'm actually doing that right now with Transformers before Rise of the
Yeah.
Beast. Um,
Are
I
you
haven't
gonna
seen
watch
Crystal
all the
Skull in
Michael Bay
forever.
movies too, or just the Bumblebee? Because that's the only one that's
Oh,
supposed to
I'm watching all of
follow.
them.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
Bumblebee is the one that I need to watch
yeah,
before. But
Bumblebee doesn't connect to Bay's films, right?
no, it's like a soft
Okay.
reboot
Okay.
for the
Just
most
want to
part.
make sure.
Um, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to Indiana Jones. It's Indiana Jones.
I hope it does
It's
well. I really do.
yeah,
Like I don't ever want to see a movie do bad in that rooting against the movie. I just thought with Harrison Ford's age, I thought it was a little bit, but just to see how emotional he got with the standing ovation, and they always give standing ovations in every film. It's like for the can stuff. I'm like, it's just Chris had a wicked joke where it was like only a 5 minute standing
ovation.
ovation
Would go
failure.
fail. Yeah,
So I thought that was funny, but yeah, I hope it does well on the game. I hope any indie fan that goes watch it enjoys it. Like myself, I'm not a huge indie fan. I did enjoy the film, but I think my favorite one was the one with his father in it.
yeah, that
Uh,
was Last Crusade.
yeah,
I'll be honest. I calm down there, old game. Yes, I know.
he
I
rewatched.
literally, I
He
just rewatched the first one. It holds up.
first one's
Now,
good. First
now,
one's
mind
good.
you, I watched it on my phone at work, so I wasn't be able to pay a ton of attention. But it holds up. Okay,
First one's okay. Well, good. First one was really enjoyable and was groundbreaking at the time. We
correct.
have to say that. Like we can't throw
Yes,
all the stones at Michael Bay. It got more ridiculous as the time
yes. The
as the
second
movies
one
went on. To
was
the
like
point where I stopped
questionable,
watching.
and by the third one, it's like, what are we doing? I haven't seen the fifth one. I haven't seen the last night. So
But also, you've watched all The Walking Dead, so I mean, like if he can get through that, he can get through the Bay Transformer film if he
yeah,
decided to do that. Uh,
yeah.
so, Joe, the good news is we have this to talk about because we waited until Thursday to go
See,
live.
see.
On the game says, yeah, I don't mind the first one and Bumblebee. I think there's a consensus on that for most people. So we got a trailer, the final trailer for the Flash film.
Yeah,
A great trailer. I wasn't gonna watch this at first, but we do a DC podcast, and it is a final trailer, and also it's very slim pickings in the news world.
just for the
And
week.
I
I'm sure
just
it'll
want
change here soon. Like I said, like you mentioned, Flash is coming out. We're gonna get a ton of stuff in the next couple of weeks. We'll have the Flash afterwards.
we also are going to have an interesting discussion about the potential box office because it
Fair.
is all over the place in the last, literally from the time I finished the show notes and sent it to Joe, the listeners, the potential box office was cut in half, potentially,
Yeah.
which is like, what? Okay, so let's get into the trailer first, Joe. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to watch the trailer. Obviously, I got to kill the volume on this first so that it don't get us
I
flagged.
also want to say we're gonna have Doom Patrol coming out here soon enough, so
Soon enough,
we'll get some
yes.
content before too long.
I can't wait to watch Doom Patrol.
Same. La 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 la.
Here we go. Whoops.
There it is. Yep.
Oh, and I just love the flash ring. I know
It's a nice ring.
both two guys that I had on my Animation Nation podcast, the host of Vigilante 1939, both have those flash rings from the set. Yeah, they look awesome. It's pretty cool.
Yeah,
And we
I
see
got. I don't have one of those, but
I love this. They're like flash. And patching me with Mr. Wayne. This is the kind of stuff, Joe. I got to pause it for a second because this is the stuff that I've always wanted to see in some of my DC films, like
The
just the
crossovers?
bare minimum. Like this
The
is like
connections?
this is Justice League or Justice League Unlimited right out of the gate for me. Like this is what I feel like watching this, where he's like, "I'll patch Mr. Wayne through to you," and like he can communicate with Bruce through his cowl. I absolutely love that.
See, one thing I will say about movies post, well, really post BVS, because in Wonder Woman you had the Wayne stuff, dropping things off Diana.
Tied in on the
Obviously,
front end and the back end of that one, yeah.
correct. Obviously, Suicide Squad had like a big Bruce Wayne Superman deal. They connected. Now, I'm not going to say better than the MCU did right after Avengers, but they definitely had a stronger feel in connectivity. Aquaman was that outlier because he literally was like he left and then did his own thing. But like I'm looking at all the movies, and I want to say majority of them actually had a connection to Batman or Superman or Wonder Woman, like a connection somewhere.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the fact that we got Alfred in here, I'm assuming this is the very beginning of the movie. You know, him racing off to help Bruce Ben Affleck do something. So the fact that it's connected like that, it's just I appreciate it so much more.
You know what else too? I'm so starved for this because it's been so long. Because yes,
There
we
is
had the cameos in Black Adam and Shazam. Honestly, those felt more like cash grabs than story making sense in story.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like, okay, yes, especially if you read comics where uh, Alfred and Bruce help Barry get that costume, that suit. That would make even more sense why he's still communicating with them. Like, would make sense why he has a Wayne tech. Like, would be able to communicate with Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
through the cowl like that. And if you go off the events of Zack Snyder's Justice League, well, it just all fits, and it's just nice to see. I do like it. I know people worried about it being about a Flash film, but I didn't get that, didn't lose that from watching this trailer as well.
No, not at all.
So yeah, did you hear that, Barry? And she's I do like the running effect too, and the
It looks
improved.
cool. It looks really good.
And I like the color. I have another thing I'll discuss with you after we're done. So yeah, I like the discussion with him and Bruce here because this is basically the overarching theme of the entire film. Is like you can't go back and change your scars. You have to like move on and learn to grow from them.
Yeah, exactly. What the events that happened to you in the past forge you now. Like they made who you are now. You change one thing, and that's going to change everything. As
Yes.
we'll see when he in this trailer alone, when he does go back, and his parents are like, "Hey, so how's school?" And he's like, "School? What?" And then he sees Barry, and we know from previous trailers that Barry doesn't have powers.
No. And I love the bat flick shot there. And the warning that he gives. But yes, and I don't think he went back in time. He just traveled to a different Earth.
Okay.
Maybe he went back in time back in time, but I think he's on a different Earth.
Okay.
Instead of everything being changed immediately. I could be wrong about that. I'm really interested to see how that shakes out.
I mean, he hasn't been able to do it yet.
Just a theory time. Theory time. So yes, he hugs his mom too. Great emotion. I do like how his father asks him like how's school, and he looks out and sees the other Barry showing up, and he just tackles him immediately. Like the comedy really works well in this trailer, Joe. I must say,
Yeah.
and like the big grandiose battle here with I
Oh,
just
Zod.
love seeing Zod. It's just all the effects are fantastic, and this is obviously out of the first act of the film when Batman's calling for his help. Uh, there's a lot of surprises not given away in these trailers too, which I'm pretty excited about.
So I don't know if that scene where he's going up to his mom when she's frozen, like he's using Speed Force. I'm assuming that is because she looks a little younger,
Hmm.
so it could be him going back in the past.
That could be that too. It could be. I'm
Like
not going. to It
reliving
could
because
be
he's trying
him.
to reliving like a moment,
This
but
could
it
be
also
where he has to
say
like
goodbye.
lose her, say
Yeah,
goodbye, like lose
yeah.
her again. It's
So it'll be sad to see.
and
Tasha
Supergirl.
Kaye,
Every bit
Supergirl.
of action with Supergirl looks fantastic. I love how she just bodies Zod. Uh,
I'm
and
looking forward to that's gonna be awesome. I'm looking forward to her on screen.
just like I didn't even notice before, but look at the
Yeah,
world
it's got
in the background.
yeah.
So it's just great, and we got the two Flash with their costumes uh, here. Again, a nice shot of her punching Zod, and we get Batman introduced right here, which
Want some help? Like I'm looking forward to Keaton. I am. It
I
just
think these are trailer lines, Joe.
I
Well,
that want some help like with nonchalant. I think that's gonna be in the movie. I'm hoping the you
you
want to get
want to
nuts,
get
let's get
nuts?
nuts is trailer only, but I could totally see that one being in the movie.
Agreed. Want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. They said it like every trailer so far. I
Yeah,
love the bat wings look too, and
it looks amazing.
that
Up on the
shot
moon
right
there. Yep,
there. I mean,
it's like they did that on purpose. It's weird.
it's fantastic.
It
It's
looks
like
good. It looks really
perfect
good
imagery, and the dropping and his
with
action is
the
just
music. Yep.
honestly is a chance to show like I'm sure they would have loved to show his Batman fighting a lot better, but it's just at the time too, you got to think about like the size of the suit, and he couldn't even turn his head. And you get this instead. It's just awesome. You get the worlds collide, and we get seeing the Flash get his power there. The other Flash.
Yep.
Yeah, the future begins. Some Batfleck skating
That's like
on
yep. Looks awesome.
traffic, which is awesome, and him driving. Like there's a lot of Batfleck in this trailer.
Well, yeah, because we're only gonna get him for the one scene or the
Yeah,
one
gotta
part of
show
the
the
movie.
first part. Yeah, and a tornado made by Flash.
That looked cool.
That
That
was
looked really
super
cool.
cool there. And then we get the funny zinger at the end, which I actually laughed at, Joe, multiple times now, which is you have fancy friends, and he's like, "That's just an
Oh,
Uber.
that's so
Uber's
stupid.
sick." I would have been like, "Yeah, Bruce Wayne's my best friend. We're best friends now."
I mean, that's not something you promote,
No,
left and right. But
you keep it on the down low if you want to keep your secret.
yeah,
But
exactly.
she knows the secret identity saved her.
Does she though? Like, yes, he saved her, but does she? Has he told her?
Touche, Joe. Touche.
Because I mean, yeah, he was being a little creepy in BV or not BVS in
Zack Snyder's
Justice
Justice League.
League,
She didn't see
but
that part though.
yeah, she was
Frozen,
it
falling.
was weird. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe she does know. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely
And,
see in a few weeks.
nonetheless, this trailer got me even more hyped than I was before. I can't wait to see this film. I have my tickets. Joe has his tickets. We'll be reviewing that the Friday night of the film. So please join us for that. There'll be some comic giveaways as well. We're super excited
Yes,
to
sir.
talk about this film. Joe, but we'll take a quick break before we get into our little bit of box office discussion. Listeners, we're an ad-supported network. We don't pick the ads or the volume. I'm going to give you a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe. Like I said, I don't think this trailer gave away too much, do you? Because
There's a lot on there.
I think it's a lot of what we've seen before, just maybe a couple extra seconds here or a couple different seconds there. I don't think there was anything shown there that we didn't know uh, before, like anything we didn't we saw more of Batfleck's action, but we saw that before. We saw more Supergirl's
Yes.
action, but we saw that
Yes.
before. Like they didn't pull a here's Doomsday,
Correct. Yeah.
which is like here's the here's the bad guy that you know. So now you know Batman and Superman will team up, and
Yeah, and have to
uh,
team up. And
yeah,
here's Wonder Woman. Now they're teaming up together. It's
yeah,
correct. No, it didn't show a lot. It showed a lot of different things from the last two trailers,
yeah.
which is fine. I mean,
Fine
I
by
think it
me.
all worked. But at this point, we're 3 weeks away. Like, do we need to see all that new footage?
Nope.
No.
No, and they're starting to release scenes, and I did not share. I did not put any
They're
of that
releasing scenes
stuff.
now. I haven't
Yeah, I
seen
did
that yet.
not put. I didn't put any of that stuff in our notes because, like I said, I thought this trailer was good enough to talk about. But they're releasing. They're doing a Flash Friday every Friday. I did enjoy the last one. This was before we got this trailer showing like Michael Keaton coming back, and we just saw Barbara and Andy Muschietti talking about it, and like Ann Edra. So that was a little. It was a minute and 40, so that was the enjoyable thing. But they're neither going to do that every Friday. I'm going to stop watching post this trailer because I think that like that is enough on my plate. And then all the game says for context, domestically, BVS is 166 million is still the best DCU opening, but had terrible legs for a 30.4 finish compared to Wonder Woman's 103, and then finished at 412. That's domestically, of course. On the game, yeah, it was quite the drop in for BBS there. Aquaman opening at Christmas was 67.9. It had legs too, yes. And the thing to note about Aquaman with the 335 million it made its bones overseas. It
Yeah.
it got to a billion with it opened overseas too before it opened here. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I did. I forgot.
I can remember that. It was quite a smart move, actually. A shrewd move. So, Joe, like I said, there's fan screenings this past Monday all across US, not in Canada, maybe in Toronto, I think. Uh, Reviews were overwhelmingly positive. Have you been able to? Well, you have some extra, but have you been able to avoid anything on Twitter? Or have you seen anything?
So there was one thing I saw, and it was one of those things where I was just scrolling through, and it popped up because of the new algorithm being the way it
Hmm.
is. Freaking stupid. Um,
Thanks,
and I'm
Elon.
like, okay. And the guy even said, like, "Hey, I'm going to be talking all spoilers of what this movie is." Or maybe it was actually, I think it was a Twitter picture on Instagram. That maybe that's where I saw it. But either way, he was basically saying, "I'm going to be talking spoilers. I got to see the movie early, and this is the breakdown." I willingly clicked on that and looked at that,
Hmm.
and I was able to confirm some things that I knew, and I found out other things I didn't. Does it ruin the movie for me? No. Like I'm still
No,
gonna enjoy seeing the movie, but other than that, I haven't seen anything, and I don't mute stuff. I just leave it as it is. If I see it, that's my own fault. Like I know the Spider Verse stuff. There's stuff coming out right now. I still haven't seen anything from that, but now that I'm saying it, and my phone is right
hearing
here,
you.
it's hearing me, so it's gonna start like throwing that stuff at me, which sucks because I can't see it that Thursday when it comes out. I probably won't be able to see it till the second,
3 o'clock on
maybe even
Thursday.
the third, but we'll
I
see.
am ready for
I
this
got
film.
I got a family dinner on that Thursday,
Ooh.
so yeah,
Also,
takes a
stick
little
with
pressure.
the Animation Nation. Will be reviewing the first film that'll come out
Okay,
this coming Wednesday.
very
So
nice.
5 7 days.
But no,
Sorry.
like I haven't seen any spoilers on my regular feed. So yay for that. What about you? Have you
Prop.
been
No, I haven't seen any spoilers. Props to the people that have been like seeing early screenings. I haven't seen any spoilers coming from them as well. It's all. It was a great film. Talking about good performances. Not talking about actual plot points. It was like props to everyone. It's like Avengers level. Let's keep it on lockdown, which I do appreciate. Um, like I said, tickets only went on sale yesterday or
yeah.
Tuesday. Sorry. Uh, and all that stuff is great. But Joe, this is the crazy thing, listeners. Like I said, I was doing up notes a couple hours ago, and the projected box office at that point was between 115 million to 140 million. And within these 2 hours, Murphy's Multiverse posted a story saying that now it's tracking at 70 million.
That's so
Joe,
weird.
What would a $70 million opening do for the Flash? Do you
Not
think?
gonna be good. And I mean, I know we're all saying that this movie is trying to get the nostalgia bump, and I've talked to multiple different people where I mean, and it's been said not only on the Geekverse or Geek Ultimate Alliance networks, but also on the Geekverse channels, where it's like the parents, the older generations, are wanting to see it because of Michael Keaton. Obviously, we want to see it because we not only for the podcast, but we enjoy the
We're
content.
DC fans.
And we want to watch it. But the people that I've talked to, it's like, yeah, like I want to see Keaton come on screen and see what he can do. It's been, 30 years to see what happens. Maybe they were banking too much on that. If their projections now are 70 million, like if 70 million is the opening weekend, that's not like what do you think the overall run would be? Like 200 million? Like that's not
What do you expect when you show everyone in Hollywood for free?
Well, there's that too.
Like that's all that comes out every day. Another person has watched The Flash and it's groundbreaking and they love it. And I'm just like, are you trying to make sure everybody sees this before you open the
I think
film?
they're trying to get the hype,
That much hype,
which is
they might be overstepping a little bit here.
I think they are like that's it's not a good thing that they are overhyping this.
You're
The last
letting
movie that got
everybody see it.
overhyped that I can remember was the Phantom Menace. Now, Phantom Menace back in 1999 was fine. Like I remember seeing it, but I didn't watch it right away. I waited until it was like back then the dollar theater. I think it was like a $3 theater when I was able to actually see it. But like you had the can the Pepsi can stuff. You had the chips. You had promotions out the wazoo for all that.
On the game house says 200 million at best. Hobbs and Shaw had a similar opening, 67 million, finished with 174. And on the game is speaking domestically for these stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's going to do better than this. I think that this is just a more clickbaity article than anything, because I read through the article. There was no showing me where your tracking was coming from, where you were getting anything. It talked about like it used examples like the Fast X slowing down, and I'm like, I don't think the same kind of people are going watching both films. Like I think that you're coming to watch a bit of a story, a summer blockbuster story.
What are you talking about? Fast X had a great story. Family.
Yes, you can't just keep saying family. And yeah, they lost me on whatever trailer that was where he swung across the bridge. That was when they lost me. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is like, and the music going.
Dude,
with it,
I was watching Fast X, and that scene comes up, and his car goes slamming into like a wall, like the driver's side into a wall, and then it pops down, and his car's fine. It's like, no.
At this point, it's become a parody. But anyone who enjoys them, like I know Brant enjoys them, Chris enjoys them.
I enjoy them too.
Live your best life. I would never be like, stop making these. I make a joke. I made one joke about it with the Austin Powers, like, why don't you die, Mr. Powers thing about the Vin Diesel. But yeah,
I'm watching a movie with my friend who's a big Fast or Fast franchise fan, and the entire movie he's laughing. We're just laughing at the ridiculousness of it all. So
I'll probably catch up on the
ending shows up, and I'm like, what do you mean that's how you what? But no, back to the Flash. What was I gonna say about the Flash? What if this article, because you said that you clicked on it, you read it, and you couldn't find any sources. What if it's all just clickbaity by chance to just get people like upset, like, oh no, it's not gonna do that low, and then they're gonna go see the movie like 3 times.
Good rally the troops type thing. I've already seen people quote tweet that article and say, "Go buy your tickets, go see the film," kind of deal. It like I said, I might be stretching when I say clickbaity, but the sources were like, this is not like, this might not do well because Fast X is slowing down. Other movies that are tracking are slowing down a little bit. Driving from one skyscraper to the other.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're. All the games, there were some times. Maybe I went to the bathroom at that point.
Honestly, I think because that one I believe was Fast 5. That's where the franchise became the superhero Ash.
When I watched Hobbs and Shaw, I literally was like, "This is like, he's literally a supervillain. Like, dude, like half
There's a
android."
scene in Fast X where Dom Vin like gets a car, rams it into it's on its side, and he like turns the wheel and then gets the car that like going, and then he one handed lifts it up to get right side up. I'm like, what?
I guess
What?
when the Rock's throwing missiles at people and stuff, like,
It's
what can we assume from this
fine.
franchise?
Um,
Yeah, I think that this is going to do well, Joe. I think this is just a little bit
I
of,
hope it does.
like you said,
I hope this is just a
riling
scare,
people up.
but
Because they also had to throw in there. This is the kind of thing when makes me think you're coming from bias. You threw in there that like what was going to happen if this happens. The Flash has took all of the Shazam's marketing budget and put it into this film. So you literally in this article that's supposed to be just bit Flash's box office, you managed to throw in an excuse for why Shazam 2 did not perform as well as you did, while also taking shot at the Flash. It just was like, this is not what you're supposed to be reporting on. You're not supposed to say what the marketing budget like that is taking marketing that it took marketing from Shazam. Where's your source on that? There was no source. It was just a little blurb in the story. So again, I if maybe they did, I don't know, but I would need to get a like more accurate source. So that was frustrating about the story, which makes me think it's part like this is a slow week. Let's drive up people. Like
yeah,
the Flash is getting a lot of positive love. Can we get a negative story about it? Kind of deal. Like you see it from these sites all the time. So
yeah.
just I really think it's going to do well for DC, so I'm not as worried. Now we come to the part of the podcast where Travis complains to Joe about the Flash because luckily for Joe, he didn't watch this. He didn't have to watch it because I watched the first 14 episodes of this season and
You
God
mean the
mighty,
season?
I was I was not going to tell Joe like jump in season 9. I was not because it's not good. Spoiler alert, it's not good. We're in the series finale series now. The season 9 was not a great season. I will say there was half of a good episode, one good episode, and the rest were subpar at best. There was not very much of a focus on the Flash for his final season. There were multiple episodes where he wasn't even involved. He
Yeah,
was
but
just
you can
off.
also argue that Green Arrow wasn't really around. Oliver was
He
around.
died for the final episode. He was not in. He was still in though. They showed a flashback,
Yeah, he
which
was there,
arguably was the best fight scene of the entire show,
which was
and
fair.
which paid homage to the show. Whereas in this show, I'm going to get a bit
Okay, go ahead.
pissed off now because
Preach, brother,
uh,
preach.
I did really enjoy Eddie coming back as
Okay.
Cobalt. I didn't even hate the design for CW with this, but he brings back all of the speedster villains in the Flash.
Every single one.
Zoom, 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 Reverse Flash, Tom Cavanaugh's, uh, Savitar, Godspeed. What I say is that it? Is that all of them? There might be another one. I don't think so though. And they're
Oh,
all
yes,
going to team up.
Cicada
They're
wasn't a
No,
speedster.
Cicada wasn't. No, so they're all going to team up to take down the Flash. It's all in a negative Speed Force. So they come out and they're going to fight,
That's
and
right.
then randomly out of nowhere, there's no thing. Nora shows up from the future to join the team to fight. While her mother's getting ready to give birth to her at the same time. So in the
Sure,
hospital.
why not?
So they fight, and then Joe literally every one member from Team Flash takes down every one of the speedsters that Barry has fought before. Every single one. And with ease, mind you. Not difficult at all. Besides, it looked for a second like there was going to be some stakes in this final episode. With Chester, it looked like Tom Cavanagh had killed Chester, but no, he's secretly a meta somehow that hasn't been revealed until the final part of this final season where he celebrates the final episode. Yeah, he dances and says, "Woo, I'm a chunk." So yeah, that was there.
Okay.
Yeah, don't even yeah. So that was just like, and I'm sorry. I know I'm not. I didn't watch it to want and hate. I've enjoyed various seasons of this show, and I had to just watch to get to the end. I'm sorry if anyone enjoyed this. More power to you. I'm not going to spend any more time after this episode, the podcast episode, talking about this show or the end of this show at all. So
You say that until we get news that Grant Gustin's coming back as Flash for like a 2-hour special premiere or something.
no, we have something. Well, I'm going to just pivot that for a second now because I'll get back
Okay.
to my criticisms or the feats of strength part of this or grievances, airing of the grievances. But YouTube DC posted yesterday the Flash Crisis meeting. And I'm thinking because there was no post-credit scenes for the I'm thinking there's still a possibility we could see that scene from the other side.
I mean, I hope, but didn't Grant say that it's not
Well, I think that's what
happening?
he would say anyway, to
True.
just keep
That's
it a
true.
secret. And I really think that them putting the meaning up on you on their WBDC, I think just WB uh, YouTube channel, I think it's sending off alarm bells for me. I wanted to
I
ask
think
you that
so.
when we were watching this Flash trailer. I thought about it and said, "Well, I'll put a pin in it," and I forgot about it. We went on to the Flash.
What if they were just doing that to promote, like, hey, the series finale
Thought
just
about that.
ended.
Thought about
We've
that too.
got Flash coming up. Why don't we just here's a scene of both Flashes meeting? It's
Hmm.
great.
I thought about that too. I thought that's a possibility, but I also thought there could be a possibility that we may see him in this film. I wouldn't rule it out
I would
just
like
because Jim
I
Lee
would
was
love
involved in Ezra showing up. I wouldn't rule out him being involved and getting Grant on there as well.
I would love for that to happen because we still I mean, and I never did go back to watch either Justice League or Zack Snyder's Justice League to see if they ever call him the Flash.
They don't.
Um, so, and I'd be interested to see if they actually. Well, no, because the one girl yells, "It's Flash,"
Yeah, we
right?
love you, Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Never mind. Because that's where he gets the name, right? Is
Yeah, he
from
could remember. He
Grant
could
Gustin.
remember that after he travels, and you could be like, "This happened once before," kind of deal. I
Yeah.
don't know. Just it doesn't look like it would make sense to fit in there for the
No, man.
story they're
Opening
telling.
scene. It's the very
Yeah,
first scene. Right when we get
can't be any worse
the
than
title
Superman's mumbo
screen.
jumbo, man. Like you can't put a worse first opening scene than Superman going. Now I like what he was saying, but it's just like dude, this is like how much money do you spend on this film? But
Totally
yeah,
fine. I got this.
reeling it back in. So yeah, every member of Team Flash individually defeated Godspeed, Zoom, Reverse Flash, and uh, as Savitar. They were all individually defeated by relative ease, whereas it took Barry 22 episodes
So
and various
who beat
people
him?
being killed. Uh, Nora beat one. Nora beat Savitar. I can't
Beat
even
her
remember
own
what the
dad.
hell's. I can't remember what in the hell Cecile's uh, superhero name is. That was told last episode, and I can't remember it for the life of me. Whatever it is, she defeated Godspeed with relative ease too. Just going. Um, Allegra defeated Tom Cavanaugh's Reverse Flash. Barry and Cobalt Blue fought, and then Barry kind of beat him up, and then he needed to get stronger, so he took in all the powers of all those other speedsters after they were defeated and grew big. So then Barry went into the
Grew
negative speed
big.
force. Yeah, but just
He
not grew big.
he got
He
rid
didn't
of
grow big. Sorry.
repulsive.
No, he started
Okay.
sucking in the red energy and just disappeared. So he grew big. But also, Daniel Panabaker's third character in the last two seasons has powers to travel to take people to the speed force negative speed force that was never said any other time before until now. So she takes Barry into the
Yeah,
speed force, and
all the
he
power of
talks.
convenience.
He talks Eddie down, and they just reach a mutual respect where both forces will coexist simultaneously, and then the series is over.
So Eddie, who woke up in the future, realizing that he died while still loving Iris, or he died because he loved Iris, and now he got all of his memories back. Then decides to get
No.
just to say, "Yeah, Barry, we're fine. You're married to
They
my
shook hands. They
fiance."
shook hands. He said, "Tell
But
Iris I'm happy for her."
okay, whatever.
The only good thing, Joe, was at the end there, he ran and he shot his lightning up, giving powers to three other people that definitely were flashes in different comics.
Oh yeah,
Because like he went to the point of saying it. One of them was an old guy driving a bike. I can't remember his name. That's driving me crazy. Yeah, I know there definitely had to be homages, but
old
yeah,
guy driving a bike.
driving a like motorcycle. I can't remember his name. There.
So you probably have Max Mercury.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one.
You also
I
had what's the other guy?
can't remember Jesse or there was two
Jesse
girls
Quick.
alive.
Two
Not it
girls.
wasn't Jessica Quick though. It was somebody. Yeah, it was somebody different. It wasn't Jesse Quick.
Hmm.
but Max
Yeah,
Mercury was one.
because Jesse and her dad, who I thought was no, it wasn't Max. Who was her dad? They used a formula to
Yeah.
have.
But
Yeah,
no,
because yeah, Jesse
Barry
Quick was
gives
in
him
the
out.
show.
He runs and throws his lightning up in the air, and it's gonna go down and give him powers because he
Hmm.
said the bolt lightning chose me. So yeah, that was it. It
Yeah,
was
the lightning chose me, so I'm gonna fuck everybody else's life. 3 people's
yeah,
lives. Gotcha.
it was god awful. The finale, the final season was bad, and honestly, I think it's partly like the showrunner now, Eric Wallace. I don't think he has much. He focused at all on the first couple seasons. Like that is when the show was at its greatest. Especially when you're ending the show, you should do a lot of callbacks to that. I honestly thought, Joe, that it was going to end with him like sacrificing himself and turning into the bolt of lightning that hits him, and it would
Just
just
to
be a
have a rolling
circle thing.
continuity thing.
Yeah, and just like a little poetic, but no, it was just at the end. He just smiling. I think Snell put the picture on the show preview, and he just looks ridiculous. He's like as he's yeah, it was wild. So I was very disappointed with the final season of the Flash. Like I said, I only enjoyed half the Green Arrow episode. So yeah, and in this final season, this final episode, it felt like they were spitting on me as a fan for way that some of the final villains that I really enjoyed so much were just defeated like without ease. Like the cops defeated freaking Zoom. Uh, well, no,
Oh,
sorry, cops and Chilbane, Frayne, the whatever his name is, Chilbane and Keon, or I think her name's Keon. I can't remember. Like Caitlin has so many different names, and oh yeah, she magically turned back into Caitlin at the very end of the show, and
because
everything's
why
okay.
not, right?
Yeah. So any bit of loss or weight or levity, the only actually props to Cisco, Carlos Valdez, because you dodged the bullet of having even show up on season 9. Like just props to you on that. It was a god awful season, and I will never
Wow.
revisit this season again. I'm sorry. It was worse than any season of Titans.
I might. Wow, that's really low bar. I
Yep.
might eventually finish the series because I'm up. I didn't watch. I'm trying to remember if I watched season
You
7
want to
or
go
not.
through the mirror? You don't. You don't.
Maybe I did watch 7.
You didn't. You don't. You would know. You wouldn't go. You wouldn't go back. No, you didn't watch 7. You
No,
wouldn't. You wouldn't go back.
it's possible I could. I just don't remember it, which is how bad it was.
It-
Because I do remember a lot of the mirror stuff. I don't remember if I finished it. That's what I'm saying. But it's also one of those things where I'm so close to finishing it.
yeah,
Might as
it's
well
like
finish it.
maybe might as well complete it. Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't give me any extra joy to have completed the series. I will be forever appreciative of the first few seasons of this show. I love this show so much. The first couple seasons were still, I'll argue, are some of the funnest comic book television, especially in the 22 episode range. So
Back
props
in
to
the day,
the show, props to Grant Gustin, and yeah, on the game. That's what I think. On the game says Box Office Pro still has the Flash opening domestically at 115 to 140 with a 280 to 375 finish. I
that's a
think
good
that
finish. I think.
I think that article by Murphy's Multiverse was more so let's generate some clicks and some buzz and
Was it
negative.
Murphy's that
Yeah,
was it his article where he just find it and share it?
I thought that that was him sharing it. Let me just see because it is in our chat here.
Because if it
Uh,
was him saying it, that's that kind of. And I know Murphy's is
yeah,
good saying.
Murphy's Multiverse. It wasn't him. It was somebody else that wrote it, but it was from his site.
Hmm,
It
okay.
was Joseph Alberl. And yeah,
I don't like you, Joseph.
yeah, I really think it was more let me generate some buzz here with like some negative stuff
Yeah.
because all I see on my timeline is hey, everyone loves the Flash, how great the Flash is, and all the game's saying basically all the
Yeah,
game.
but
That's
weren't
where
people
I got
saying like Shazam and
various
Black
other
Adam were great?
sites. No, but various other they weren't saying that. No, I saw some people say just average film,
Hmm.
whereas I've never seen that with this. And on the game, I Back Office Pro was one of the couple that I looked at, and they all had the same projections for the Flash that you're citing there. So I think it's going to be good, and ultimately, I hope Grant Gustin gets the payoff of being in the Flash film as well. I hope
Be
that
nice.
it
Be fun to
comes
see.
full circle. He deserves that for just everything.
Plus, it'd
But
be
you,
great connectivity, synergy, if you will.
yeah.
When they were promoting that the movies and the shows and everything is all connected. Not pre-gun, like
Yeah.
they're talking multiverse and how everything means something. Like, and then they did Ezra Miller in the Flash TV show. It'd be perfect synergy to have him have Grant Gustin show up here for a quick 5-minute clip. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be that clip. Would I love
Nope.
it to be that, like, Ezra Miller's version, like his side of it? Yeah, I would. It doesn't have to be that though. It could be
No.
another meeting where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, it could be maybe when he's running through the Speed Force and he sees Grant Gustin's Flash and it's just like, oh wait, I remember you.
Or
And
a
they
meeting of
have a
all
quick
the
stop and
Flashes,
talk.
Joe. A meeting of all the
Something.
Flashes.
Well, yeah,
Like
but what I'm
like,
saying is those two in particular, like as he's running, he sees that coming up, similar to how Beast Boy in Titans,
ooh,
like
yeah.
he had the connection to,
The
like he
red.
saw he saw Grant Morrison and they talked for a second, but like he stopped in Stargirl's world
Yeah.
for a quick couple minutes. Similar situation. He could stop into the Flash Arrowverse world
Yeah.
for a second, talk to Grant Gustin, and be like, "Hey, I gotta go. I'm doing something."
Yeah. Thanks for the name.
Yeah, yeah, something.
It's a big hit. Something like that. Yeah.
Anything's
Anyway,
possible.
ultimately, I hope that Grant, like I've said, really thank you for all the memories, Flash. So, Joe, let's take our final ad break of the evening before we
Before we
talk
do
about
that,
a
real
little
quick,
news.
let's answer this little question by All in the Game. Yes, we're still watching it.
Yes.
Will there be a season 4 on Max? I hope. Fingers crossed. I think it'd do better there than on cable TV.
And we're thinking on the game. There's news. We don't think we're going to get a lot of news between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday into our
Mhm.
next episode Monday. So it's probably going to be a Superman and Lois catch up. We'll
We got
talk
3
about the
episodes
last
to talk
3
about. Yep,
episodes. So we'll probably do that for the next episode. If any news comes up, we'll talk about that as well. Obviously,
of course.
go on to it. But yeah, it'll be a Superman and Lois centric episode for Monday's episode. So we'll be. And we're hoping, like I said, we talked about that. I think last week, maybe Joe, or the week before that the cancellation, and I think that was last week.
Yeah, we talked about it last week
Yeah,
because we talked about possibility of going to Max and
and that's
our
where
excitement.
I have my shrine on the game in the corner there, as we hope, because I love Superman and Lois. I think it's great, and I think it's just a great way to keep Superman's momentum while we're waiting for Superman Legacy, which could be delayed even more because of the writer's strike.
But that's
Uh,
the other thing. Like Superman and Lois would be delayed. Season 4 would be delayed because of the writer's strike. Everything's being delayed because of the
Goddamn
writer's
writer's
strike.
strike.
So
Pam, David Zaslav. So, Joe, let's take our final ad break of the evening. Listeners, more ad support network. We don't pick the ads or the volume. I'm going to give you a quick 3 count to adjust your volume, and we'll be right back in 3, 2, 1. And we're back. Okay, Joe, small amount of news today, but still some things. First and foremost, James Gunn is sick of all those bullshit DC rumors, and he's come up with a new plan for debunking rumors. I'm going to read to you what he said right now, some of his tweets. He said, I'm getting barraged with bullshit DC rumors this morning. I'll just reiterate the general rule not to believe anything unless it comes from me or Peter, but unless it's especially egregious, I'm going to slow down on calling shit out. Sorry, I know it's one of my favorite traditions. There are 3 reasons for this. 1, some people are making up lies to get attention from me or to get clicks, and I don't want to encourage that. I read 100 rumors this morning. One of them is half true, so I don't want it to be used as a way for people to throw nonsense at the wall until something sticks. And 3, I'm storyboarding Superman and Legacy and don't have the time. Have a great day. What do you think about James Gunn's decision to stop calling out the scoopers all the time, unless
we
it's crazy?
we talked about this months ago. He was going to have to at some point because
Yes.
he needs to button down and get this script, get this project, going. So, am I surprised? No. Like this makes perfect sense.
He also basically described Grace Vandoff's reporting style there, which is throw a bunch of shit at the wall and see what sticks.
Yep.
So it does make sense. And like you said, Joe, we've both been saying, while I've been thoroughly enjoying the call outs
Oh yeah.
of people making up bullshit, just try to get clicks and that. I understand that whenever you don't call out things, people are like, oh, that must be 100% true. And he
Correct.
can't spend his whole life doing that as well. So this is the greater medium. And all in the game, we both saw, I think, Zazoff getting booed at Boston universities
Worth
and
it.
pay your writers. That was awesome.
I
I
mean,
love
Max is
that.
good. Max, maybe even WB is gonna be in hot water here soon enough with the DGA before too long, maybe
But now,
allegedly.
but now, in saying that, every rumor that I've read is Netflix is the ones that are holding up this deal that with WGA. Now that could be
Really
obviously just yeah, that they're the ones that are dragging their feet and not wanting to pay.
interesting.
But
Hmm.
it's you say that, and then you get on Max's new app, and
Yeah,
it's just
and it's
writers, directors, and everything are lumped together as creatives.
yep.
And
That's
the
not how that
DGA
works.
is like, "That's not we're not gonna tolerate that. That's bullshit." And I'm really enjoying how they're sticking together. Props to David Zaslav because there was a lot of questions of would these, separate unions stick together, and you're doing a damn good job of forcing them to force them together without even any
I'm
work on
really
their
glad for
parts.
that. You know,
Yeah,
I remember
same.
I remember my early days of comic book rundown. When I first started, I just would talk about like a writer, like this book was written by so and so. But then like I realized, and I had to go back and fix it before I put the first episode out. Like, no, there's a lot more than just a writer. There's
Yeah.
artist, there's a colorist. So like I named every single one. Do I get the names right? No, but because especially the writers and everybody in the 60s and 70s had some weird names.
Yeah.
But no, like I acknowledge them because they are the ones that put this content together for me to enjoy now. How are you not going to recognize the people, the writers, the directors, the editors
Usually, it
for
usually
these
is the
movies?
directors that get the most love for these films, but like
Normally,
you just said, the writers, the editors, hell, the VFX people, like for this Flash film,
yeah.
they deserve a hell of a lot of credit as well. A lot of the still shots I've been seeing look fantastic. I don't know what people are saying. They must be looking at a different thing. Like when they see some of these still shots, I
I think
think a lot of them
Clay
look
Clay,
fantastic.
Clay tried to throw some shade in the our group chat the other day when I think the trailer came up, and he's like, "Joe, what's your neighbor doing?" Like, blah blah blah. I'm like, and in my head, I didn't respond. I'm like, my neighbor got done with his stuff 3 months ago, so whatever.
Yeah, I didn't see any bad shots. We just watched that trailer. I didn't see a bad shot there. Obviously, if you slow down.
I'll say the costume when he was in one scene, I think when he was like talking to it, something was flying over, looked a little too shiny, but
Oh, okay.
that's just for
Those,
me looking.
yeah.
And it was just a quick shot. I don't know what's going to happen when the movie is here, and there are still a couple companies working. Like
Well, they showed
from
the
what
thing.
my
They
friend
showed the
has said,
thing at the screening on Monday, saying that like it's not a finished, like not a in the can thing. Like there's still VFX work and
that and
post
didn't
credits.
wasn't there something somebody had posted in our group chat that the ending people saw at the screening is not the ending that's gonna be shown in the final product. Did you see that? Because
I
I
didn't
think
see that.
okay,
That
so I think
that
that
went
that
by
kicked
me.
Snell off of for like a pizza bet with I think Katie
Ooh.
actually. So
Oh, okay, that caused. I did make that was a different thing. They're talking about the improv. I was part of that. A lot of things going
oh, the
on, and I'm
improv
gonna.
with Ryan Reynolds
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm. It's hard for you to keep up in chat these days.
Our
I
group chat
actually have a
pops off.
job.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm there at work. I'll spend like 2 hours solid at work,
Oh
and I'll
yeah,
look at my
now
phone and be
welcome
like,
to our world, Travis.
"Yeah, like
Like welcome
46
to everybody
messages."
else who's on this group chat. We have to work.
I miss school. No, no, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I just miss the not work. Not actually, no. I do. I do enjoy work more. I work more because I get paid. I
Exactly.
paid tomorrow. Yay. Um, yeah, Joe. So I'm props to James Gunn. Like we said, you can't keep doing this. It was enjoyable, but the more you get into your role in DC Studios, the less and less you're going to be able to do this. And we don't want Grace Randolph trying to just throw everything and get you to check her down every time. So,
I mean,
uh,
it gives her validation. It's
yes,
not
and
just
I just want her to go away. I don't see what she tweets because I she blocked me when I called her a blood sucking leech on the entertainment industry.
love it.
But
Yeah, I only
um,
ever see it if it ever gets shared in the group chat.
yeah, same. And usually it's a screenshot.
Screenshot
So
for you because it's blocked. Yeah.
yeah, so it was nice stuff to throw in screenshot just to show her some of her nonsense. So the Penguin production was halted, Joe, on Tuesday because of the WGA writer strike.
Shocker.
And yesterday or today, Colin Farrell was actually like with the WGA members.
Yeah,
Like
he was on the line. He was
picking
on the picket line.
so, like we talked about before, there's going to be a lot of delays with a lot of things unless these studios can get their shit together
It's
here.
like
And
the rest of this year's fine. I think the rest of 2023 is going to be good. Early 2024 is going to be spotty. 2024 in general will be lacking. Not just
yes,
for us, for everybody.
yes, and even the content that comes back, you're going to be rushed for some of the shows and some of the
Correct.
stuff. So you're going to be a
Yeah,
little less of the best work.
we won't see the effects of stuff until probably spring of 2024.
The only,
Like we're gonna start seeing effects probably late 2023, early 2024, but like the full effect of the writer's strike and everything, the ramifications of it all won't be until spring.
we're only getting the schedule ramifications from that, though.
Correct.
Because DCU hasn't started, so we're not in the middle. It's not like the MCU where you get in the middle of a phase and
Yeah,
you're
and
like,
well, yeah, most of their productions, like, and things are
then
being
everything got to
pushed.
shift back and everything. And so, like, we only have the Superman Legacy in production and the Creature Commandos, which was animated and sounds like it was in the can, like everything was written before because they were doing the reading. So it sounds
Yeah,
like that one could go on. So that could probably be your
but
bit
that's
of
for right now.
content.
What if the DGA strikes? That's gonna be a different thing. Like that's gonna put a
Oh,
big dent in everything.
that will gum. That'll be like throwing a stick in the like
Yeah,
a
that's gonna move
machine and
the
kind of.
problems from spring 2024 to winter 2023. Like,
Yeah.
bam,
Oh
everything's
yeah, you're right. It's gonna be like, bam, here we are. Talk about what we'll have to talk about.
we got
Ooh,
look, we got stuff. We can figure
we'll
something out.
bring out the vault of DC TV. Talk- yeah, um, but yeah, we support the WGA here. We want them to be paid. Joe, this reminds me a little bit. Again, I'm a sports person, but every league I follow, it was like owners got more than 50% every time of the share.
Yeah,
And ultimately, I've seen every league go to at least a 50-50 or close to 50-50 market share with the profits of the league. So the owners get half and the players get half,
good.
which when you have top tier talent in industries, you have to pay them like that. There's not a million writers.
I mean,
Yes, you're talking about AI and that, but I don't think that stuff is anywhere near what
oh,
it
they're
needs to be
gonna.
yet.
The problem is that you will have somebody have the idea of like, oh, you know what? We're gonna do a purely AI script,
Yeah.
and we're gonna make a purely AI script into a movie, and people will go see it out of intrigue, and it will make money. And then the companies will be like, "We got a winner. Let's go do that from now on." We don't.
I
We
don't
need, we
know
need
if
writers.
people will go and pay their money to see that rather than like watch it. Like if it was a streaming service thing, maybe. I don't know if you're getting people to
So,
pay $20 to go to the theater to watch
well,
AI.
so again, I got the Regal Unlimited, so I pay 50 cents for a
Yeah.
convenience fee on my app. So 50 cents for me, fine. I'll go see an
Oh
AI
yeah, for
generated
you. But
movie.
I'm just talking about for your
Oh yeah,
general.
it's not gonna be a ton of
Yeah.
people that will go see it, but
I feel like that
you're
could be the
right.
thing that
Probably a
makes it
streaming service would
fail.
be better for it.
I feel like a streaming service like a Netflix, it would be like a everyone would have to go. I gotta watch this. Like it's free. I want to see like Tiger
I
King.
want
I
to see
don't
how
think they
yeah. I
remember
want to
how
see the
big
train
Tiger
wreck.
King was. Like I don't think that would have been big if you had to go to a theater and pay to watch that. I know it was a TV show compared to a movie, but I'm just saying in general with Netflix, they have the really convenience of your home. So I think other things pop off quicker. Like
True.
that
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
pop
and
off
we
in
were
the main
everybody
stuff.
was in like everybody was. It's not even just a convenience. It was smack dab COVID time. Like
Yes.
no one was going anywhere.
No.
So what are you gonna do? You guys sit at home and watch something. That hit because no one could do anything.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe.
I just
So
yeah. I don't know.
sorry. No, you're
No,
good.
we're good. We're good. We're good.
Oh,
Moving on.
oh, they wiped it out in the time that I. The next topic was gonna be the Blue Beetle Funkos, but
Deleted.
the tweet has been deleted. It showed three different Blue Beetles, three different Funkos: Jaime Reyes, Blue Beetle, and
Exactly all the game. Everybody was a captive audience.
I can't even see the other thing. Unfortunately, page doesn't exist anymore. That sucks. But anyway, Blue Beetle merchandise is coming. We're going to get Blue Beetle at the end of the month, end of the summer as well. Giddy up for that.
Looking forward to that.
This one, spoiler alert. Sorry, Diggle, but the Justice U TV show is not going forward.
Oh
John
no!
Diggle focused spinoff is disbanding. Uh, not good at all. This is the end of the Arrowverse, Joe. I don't know why they thought Diggle University would have been a good idea.
Nah, see what's gonna happen is Gotham Knights is gonna have some connective tissue. You're gonna get Batwoman show up, and then it's gonna be connected to the Arrowverse. Yep, that's what's
Well,
happening.
I will never know because I will never watch.
Same,
So
same.
good run, Arrowverse. Sorry, Diggle. Sorry, Dave Ramsey. You're gonna have to find another character to play. The final little thing we have, Joe, is in the news is Michael Keaton's Batman in the Flash. This is why I think this is partly like I don't think that tracking is accurate. But Michael Keaton's Batman in the Flash is summer's most anticipated movie hero. Number one. Number two was Miles Morales. Number three, Ethan Hunt. Number four, Gwen Stacy. And number five, Barbie. Uh, I'm ready for Keaton.
So hold on.
Hero, not superhero.
Barbie is number 5
Over Optimus
most
Prime, yes.
anticipated movie hero.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over Optimus Prime.
Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. Okay, I guess. I didn't even think about that. Just
I'm
the fact
excited
that
to
she
see the
was.
Barbie movie too. To be
Oh,
honest, with you.
same, dude, same. The new trailer came out today, and I still haven't actually watched it.
I watched
But,
it. Unbelievable. I was talking to Allison about it earlier before I came down here. I'm really excited to see the film. This is going to be a crazy summer with films, especially with DC. We got 2 films this summer. Like
Yeah.
very rare do we ever have films this close together. Like it's like a competent franchise being run. So
well, yeah, but then we're gonna have a year of nothing. So
yeah. Well, can they hold Doom Patrol down?
Get Doom Patrol out there. I want to see the end of it.
I want to see the end of it as well. I'm starting to forget what we watched before. So, Joe, our final thing for the night, our Smallville retro recaps. Not much of a episode to talk about, if I'm being honest with you. Season 2, episode 20, Witness. They didn't say much in the Talkville episode. We jumped by Precipitous too, but that's because we were live Monday. I went to the next one. I didn't even think because the new Talkville came out. The only scenes I enjoyed were Chloe and Lionel at the very end when he comes in and offers her help. But he's the one that got her paper destroyed by his minions, and then he goes in and offers her help and basically looks like a good guy. So it's Lionel making moves. That was basically the only thing I enjoyed about the episode. Okay. It was so bad. It was Zachary Taylor Thomas who was terrible, hitting bombs and being the juicer. I just did not like it at all. It was one of the ones I would say, don't watch this if you want to emphasis on Smallville. And the guy said the same thing. The funniest thing about the Talkville podcast, Ryan called Tom Welling Clark when he was talking to him.
Nice.
He's just like, yeah, and sorry about that, Clark. I mean, Tom. I was just like, that's perfect. So that's part of the reason why you got to have Ryan out there. I do enjoy him.
Ryan's fun. I do like him. No, I haven't. I didn't watch these 2 episodes because I've been playing Zelda all week.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, you made a good call there with the Smallville. You definitely saw this before. It was another Home Improvement brother on here as a guest star, and there wasn't anything of substance besides Lana's real father's.
Taylor Thomas was already on, wasn't he? He was the
Jonathan Taylor Thomas was on there. There was 3 Home Improvement brothers, and the middle one was the star who went on and done movies in that, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. And this guy, I think he's Zachary Taylor Thomas.
No, there's no Zachary Taylor Thomas
or Aaron Taylor Thomas. I can't remember his name now, Joe. Like his name was Zach Ty Bryan. Sorry.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that it was
now I remember that. I do remember that now. Okay.
There was a couple of good things, but there was a lot of confusion. It's just like there's a couple episodes left to the season finale. Wish there was more get up to go, but like Algo said, they weren't doing that still in these first couple seasons. they didn't get to the through storylines until the third, fourth, fifth season going onwards like that. So again, we'll be excited. We'll get into the finale. There's only 2 episodes left, 3, 2. Accelerate, Calling, and Exodus. So Exodus, all 3 of these. Well, the final 2 get great ratings. So these other 2, not so much. So when we finish these 3 or 4, it will be a pause on the Smallville retro recaps because Tactville will obviously be on pause as well. So we'll start back up when they do. Looking him up at Joe. Looking up Zachary Ty Bryan.
No, I was sorry doing other things.
So that's the end of the episode, Joe. I'll see you again on Monday for some Superman and Lois talk, as well as you as well, listeners. So until then, be on the lookout for the Flash spoilers. Put your mute games, have your mute games going on point, please.
Yeah.
Later, everyone.
Bye, y'all.